Hello and welcome back to ISpeakSpokeSpoken.com. My name is James and today we will be talking about how to talk about the weather in English. So here is some basic weather vocabulary, and in the second half of the video we will have a quiz that you'll be able to follow along with. So you get 2 in 1 really. You're going to learn some vocabulary and then we will quiz you on it as well. So let's get started, shall we? Number 1, we have sunny. So sunny is when the sun's out, it's a nice sunny day. There's lots of sun, there's lots of maybe some clouds, but not too many. It's a nice day, pretty much. It's a sunny day. So here, the park is usually crowded when it's sunny. And that's because it's a nice warm day, so many people want to go out to the park. Number 2, cloudy. Cloudy. So cloudy is when there are lots of clouds out and maybe it's going to rain and it's not as nice as if it was sunny. It's pretty cloudy. You're not getting much sun. Maybe it's a bit dark. So it looks cloudy, so it might rain later. Here we go. Windy. It's too windy to wear a hat today. So wind is when there is lots of air blowing at you. So maybe you're walking down the street and you're getting pushed back by all of this air that is getting pushed at you. And when it's windy, it means there's a lot of that air. So yeah, it's too windy to wear a hat because the hat might fall off. It's rainy. So rainy means there's a lot of rain. It's very damp. There's too much rain. It's not the nicest. To be honest with you, it's not the weather that I would want it to be. So I need to carry an umbrella. It's rainy. So what this means is that you need an umbrella, the thing that blocks the rain, because you don't want to get rained on. Okay, and last but certainly not least in this section, we have snowy. So snowy is very similar to rainy, except it's for snow. So there's been lots of snow and maybe it's a bit nicer than rain because then you can go and play snowball fights and you can go sledging and all of this. But it can also be a bit of a hazard for the road as well. So the roads are slippery because it's snowy. All right, so what we're going to do on every single one of these is we will go through each one after I've told you what they mean. So if you want to repeat after me, sunny, sunny. Keep repeating, guys. The more you repeat, the better your pronunciation will get, I promise. Cloudy, cloudy. Good job. Windy, windy. There we go. Rainy, rainy. And snowy, snowy. Good job, guys. Good job. And remember, just keep going. Even if you feel like you sound silly, you don't. And even if you do, who really cares? You're improving your English and you will improve if you keep on practicing. So here we go. Number 2, temperature terms. So quite often we want to talk about how hot it is or how cold it is. So here we go. Hot. So it is hot. It is hot means that the temperature is high to a point that you then actually feel hot. Up to a point maybe you're going to feel cold. So here we go. It is so hot that I need air conditioning. It's so hot that they need some kind of conditioning to actually stop them from being so hot. Even though it can be nice, it can also be not so nice after a while. Warm. So warm is a less extreme heat than hot. So it's somewhere in between cold and hot. Warm. You see? So we've got, it's warm enough for a light jacket. So it's not hot enough to wear a t-shirt, but it's warm enough to wear something a bit lighter. Here we go. Mild. So the weather is mild, perfect for a walk. So mild weather is weather that is, it's not not too extreme either way. It's somewhere in between that is quite nice. It's mild. Here we go. Next up we have cool. What cool is almost what warm is for hot, but for cold. So cool means it's not freezing and it's not cold, but it's getting there. It's a bit cooler. You see? Here it says, it's cool in the evenings, so bring a sweater. You don't want them to get cold, so you want them to bring their own sweater. Next up we have cold. So cold is when it's getting cold to the point that maybe you're going to wear a jacket and it's getting to a point that it's actually maybe a bit uncomfortable. So it says here, it's cold, so I'm wearing my gloves. Yeah, you want to wear a hat and you want to wear gloves when it gets cold. Otherwise, you'll catch a cold and you don't want that. And last, but certainly not least, we have freezing, which is temperature that I'd prefer not to be in. But freezing is when it's so cold that maybe there's ice on the floor, you start to shake and you can't really bear standing there any longer, and like you have to kind of just move around to keep yourself a little bit warmer. So here it says, it's freezing. Make sure you wear a coat. So you're telling someone, bring their own coats, otherwise they're going to be very cold. And it's a very good friend to tell someone this, in my opinion. So let's go through these like we did with the other one and repeat after me. Hot. Hot. Warm. Warm. Mild. Mild. Cool. Cool. Cold. Cold. And last but not least, freezing. Freezing. That's great, guys. Good job. Now let's move on. So number 3, we have specific weather conditions. So here we have some weather conditions that are a bit more specific than the ones that we've said before. So we have foggy. So foggy is when it's so, like there's so much, where you can hardly see in front of you because there's so much steam in the air, and it's so, I mean, it's hard to not say foggy in this place, but there's so much steam in the air that you can only see a little bit in front of you. So it's foggy, I can barely see the road, and this can be quite dangerous if you're driving. Next up, we have stormy. So stormy is when it's been raining, maybe there's a bit of lightning, thunder, and it's not the nicest weather to be outside in, but it's quite nice to be inside watching a movie when it's stormy. So it looks stormy, we should stay indoors. Next up, we have humid. Humid. So humid is when it's quite hot, it's quite warm, and maybe the air's a bit damp. So maybe you're going to be a bit sweaty when it's humid. It's not going to be the most comfortable weather. But here we say, it's so humid that my hair is frizzy, because they've got so much moisture in their hair that it frizzed up. Here we have dry. So when it's dry, there's not much moisture in the air, or not much humidity in the air at all. So the air is dry. I need to use moisturizer. So it's a good idea to use moisturizer if it's dry, because otherwise it's not going to be great for your skin. Next up, we have icy. So icy is what can happen when it's freezing cold and all of the moisture on the ground starts to freeze. And yeah, you need to be careful when it's icy, because you can slip. If you're driving, you need to be very careful when it's icy. So here it says, be careful walking. It's icy outside. Great. Next up, we have some weather idioms. I love idioms, and here I'm going to show you some of the idioms that we use to do with weather. Number 1, it's raining cats and dogs. This is a very fun one, in my opinion. It's raining cats and dogs, you'll get soaked. So what it's raining cats and dogs means, it means that it's pouring down. There's so much rain that, like, if you step outside, it's going to be like you've just stepped into a shower. It's so cold and so it's so rainy outside that you don't want to go out there. And that is how we say that. It's raining cats and dogs. Next up, break the ice. To break the ice. It means to start a conversation with someone. So to start a conversation is to break the ice. Maybe you're in an Uber and neither you nor the driver has said anything. And maybe one of you will break the ice to start a conversation. That is how we break the ice in English. The calm before the storm is our next one. So the calm before the storm is when it is very calm, but you know that very soon it's not going to be calm at all. So you have that anticipation of something going a bit crazy soon, but you're kind of in this weird place of it's calm now, but it's not going to be soon. And that is how we use that one. Under the weather. So we say that when someone isn't well and when someone feels sick, they are under the weather. And that is how we say that. So I'm feeling under the weather and need to rest. Next up, chase rainbows. So planning a picnic in this weather is like chasing rainbows, which means it's pretty much impossible. Like, it's impossible to chase a rainbow. It's pretty much impossible to plan a picnic in this weather. Maybe it's rainy. Maybe it's not the nicest day for a picnic. So maybe it's not a good idea for them to do that. Next up, we have some weather phrases. What's the weather like today is our first one. And maybe you would ask, should I wear a jacket? So you've just woken up, someone's already been out for a run maybe, and you'll say to them, hey, what's the weather like today? Should I wear a jacket? Is it a good idea for me to wear a jacket? And to that, they will either answer, yes, you should wear a jacket, and like maybe it's cold, or maybe they'll say it's warm and nah, you don't need a jacket. Okay, next here we have, it's going to be hot tomorrow. Let's go to the beach. So we would say it's going to be hot tomorrow if it's going to be hot tomorrow. So if we know that the weather forecast is saying that it's going to be quite warm tomorrow, we would say this to someone, and maybe then you'll arrange a visit to the beach. I heard it will snow on the weekend. Let's stay indoors. So these are all ways of planning ahead for some weather conditions. The weather is clearing up. Let's go for a hike. That's the next one here. And this is if it's been raining, maybe the weather will clear up. Maybe it's going to get better. And that is what's going to happen. And they're planning a hike because of that. Here we have, we postponed our trip because of the storm. Safety first. And what they're saying here is that they were going to go away, but they decided to not go away because they knew that it wouldn't be the safest thing to go on a trip. And safety first means that they're taking their safety as a more serious thing than them enjoying a holiday. Let's look at some extended weather vocabulary, shall we? Here we have overcast. So the sky is overcast, suggesting rain soon. So maybe it's grey, maybe it's looking like it's going to rain, it's not looking the nicest, it's overcast. Maybe it's cold and a bit grey. And yes, it's not, as I said before, it's not my favorite weather condition. So the sky is overcast, suggesting rain soon. Here we have blustery. It's blustery, making it hard to walk against the wind. So here, there's lots of wind going in all directions. It's blustery. It's not the nicest weather to walk in because you're getting blown all over the place and it's not the nicest weather to be in. It's all blustery. So here we go. Next up, we have sleet. So what sleet is sleet is a mixture of rain and snow. So maybe it's raining and snowing at the same time. And quite often this will land in a mushy, not a very nice weather kind of way. We tend to get this in England, this kind of snow, and it doesn't lay on the floor like normal snow. It's a bit more dangerous, especially for drivers, as it gets colder and freezes. So we're expecting sleet, a mixture of rain and snow. Next up, hail. So small ice balls, hail fell during the storm. So hail is when, yeah, as it says here, it's like small stones of rain falling and hitting you. And believe me, sometimes if the hail is strong enough, it can be quite painful. So yes, hailstones are a form of ice ball that can fall as rain. Next up, we have muggy. It's muggy today, feeling warmer than it is. So yeah, as it says here, when it's muggy, it feels warm, but maybe it's not as warm as it is, and it's just it kind of feels a bit weird, the air, you know. You're kind of being told two different things by how it feels, depending on how the air feels outside. Here we have some additional temperature terms that we're going to move on to. We have scorching. So scorching is like the hottest day of the year. This is like, oh my gosh, the pavement is scorching, too hot to walk on. It's like maybe outside it's around late 30 degrees to early 40 degrees. It's so hot outside. And yeah, you don't want to be outside for too long in that weather. Okay, next up we have chilly. Chilly is like, oh, it's a little bit chilly. It's not too hot. It's just a bit cold, isn't it? It's not the nicest. It's chilly, colder than cool, but not yet cold. It's in the middle there. Next up, we have balmy. A balmy evening is perfect for a beach stroll. So it's kind of just nice weather, pretty much. It's kind of somewhere in the middle there. Next up, frigid. So the frigid temperatures have frozen the lake. So this is when it's gotten pretty cold, and over time that has then frozen the lake. And it's maybe not the most comfortable weather to be outside in. Okay, so next up we've got some more specific weather conditions. And here we start off with torrential rain. Let's say that again, torrential rain. Very good job. So the torrential rain caused flooding. So torrential rain is when maybe it's rained for hours and hours on end, and it can be quite dangerous depending on the area and how much rain they're getting. But yes, torrential rain is quite an extreme form of rain, and yeah, it can be quite bad. Next up, we have gale force winds. Gale force winds knocked down lines. So gale force winds is strong winds. It's quite extreme weather here. So we've got extreme winds here. Next up we have mist. So the mist made the landscape look mystical. So mist is quite foggy weather, you see, and it's maybe you've got like steam, and it's quite, it's foggy. That's the best way of explaining it. So when you see somewhere that's quite misty, it can look quite beautiful because you've got this misty beauty about it. It looks quite mythical. You see what I mean? Next up, we have blizzard. So the blizzard shut down transportation. So blizzard means extreme snow. So much snow that it's like, yeah, you've got multiple layers of snow on the floor, and places will be closed with this weather depending on the area and how they deal with snow. So next up we have dew. So what is dew? Dew is when there is now moisture that has built on top of maybe grass, maybe spider webs and things like that over time as the condensation has built. So morning dew covered the grass. So let's now talk about some expanded weather idioms. So here we have steal someone's thunder. So to steal someone's thunder means to take someone's glory from them when they had some glory. So he unveiled his project early. So this means that if someone else had some, was getting praise for their project, and then he took over that praise, he stole his thunder. It's not the nicest thing to do. Okay, next up we have save for a rainy day. So this means to save money for when you need it in the future. So to save for a rainy day, so it's wise to save money for a rainy day. Next up we have get wind of something. So here we have I got wind of the surprise party. What this means is that they heard say about it. They heard a rumor that there might be a surprise party. They heard something about it, and they've got they might be kind of figuring it out. Next up, we have snowed under. I'm snowed under with work this week. So snowed under means that they have so much work on top of them that they need to do, and they need to try and get level with all the work that they have. But right now it's over their head. You see? Here we have weather the storm. So we need to weather the storm until it improves. So this means to go through the pain right now and to go through what's going on until it improves and it gets better. Next up, we have additional weather phrases. And you're doing really well, guys. And if you look up at the top right-hand corner of the video, you'll see an eye. And if you click that eye, you'll get all of the things that you can see behind me in the video and a quiz to go over there and do that. And you can have all of this for yourself, for your free time, and also for now while you're watching this video. If you're on a mobile device and you can't see that I button, you can go down to the description below and click the link and get it over there. All right, let's carry on. So, some additional weather phrases. Looks like rain. So those clouds look ominous. So looks like rain is more like, oh, it looks like, I'm pretty sure it's going to rain. It looks like it might rain. The sun is beating down. Wear sunscreen today. This is saying that it's very sunny, so wear some sunscreen. A gust of wind. This is quite a common one, and it's a good phrase to use. So a gust of wind just blew away my papers. So much wind just came and blew away all the work that I've been doing. You see? The calm after the storm. We're finally experiencing calm. So you know how we had weather the storm. This is kind of the other side of that. So we're finally experiencing calm after the storm. And maybe the weather's calm. Maybe you could even say this as your own idiom if you want to. Next up, we have a ray of sunshine, a welcome change after days of rain. So it's something that you're ready for it to be better. You're ready for the weather to be better. Okay, so guys, at this point of the video, what we're going to do is we're going to go through some special words that we have picked out that are words that are usually kind of hard, that get complicated, and people tend to get them mixed up. So we thought it would be a good idea if we practice them right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the words and I want you to repeat them. I'm going to say them twice and I want you to repeat after each one. So first up, we've got sunny. Sunny. Okay, keep following along, guys. You'll get it, and your pronunciation will just improve and improve. Okay, next up, cloudy. Cloudy. Perfect. Windy. Windy. Rainy. Rainy. Snowy. Snowy. All right. And here we go to the next one. Hot. Hot. Okay. Warm. Warm. Mild. Mild. Amazing. Cool. cool, cold, cold. Yep, keep going, guys, keep going. You're doing so well. Freezing, freezing. All right, let's move on to the next one. Foggy, foggy. Great. Stormy, stormy. Okay. Humid, humid. Great. Dry, dry. Nice one. And then icy, icy. And next up we have break, break. Calm, calm. Weather, weather. Chase, chase. And rainbows, rainbows. Here we have tomorrow, tomorrow. Overcast, overcast. Blustery, blustery. Sleet, sleet. Great. Hail, hail. And muggy, muggy. And then we have scorching, scorching. Chilly, chilly. Balmy, balmy. Frigid, frigid. Torrential, torrential. Rain, rain. Mist, mist. Blizzard, blizzard. Keep going, guys, you're doing so well. And dew, dew. Nearly there. Steel, steel. Save, save. Snowed, snowed. You're getting there. Weather, weather. Keep on repeating, keep repeating. You got this. Down, down. Gust, gust. Calm, calm. And sunshine, sunshine. So now we're on to the point of the video where we have our quiz. So let's put your memories to the test and see how much you've picked up during the video. And let's see. So let us know down in the comments once we're done how many you got. So let's go. Number one, what does scorching refer to? A, very cold temperatures. B, very hot temperatures. C, mild temperatures. And or D, wet weather. I'll give you a second there. If you said B, very hot temperatures, you were right. So give yourself a clap and write down how many you get in a row. So write that down so you know by the end. Okay, if the weather is breezy, what is it like? Is it A, very windy, B, lightly windy, C, extremely hot, or D, very humid. Give you a second to write that down. Okay, so the answer is B. So breezy is lightly windy. Let's move on to the next one here. You're doing really well, guys. And even if you are getting them wrong, don't worry, because it's all practice, and don't be too disheartened if you're not getting them right. That's okay. Next up, we have drizzle. Drizzle. So what does drizzle mean? Is it A, heavy rain, B, light rain, C, a type of snow, or D, a heat wave? It's B, a light rain. Good job, guys. So B, a drizzle is a light rain. Okay, so downpour is another term for A, a light rain, B, sunny weather, C, heavy rain, or D, mild weather. Okay, take a second for that. And the answer is, downpour is C, heavy rain. So yes, here we go. Let's move on. Keep going, guys. You're doing so well. I'm so proud. So here we go. If someone said it's humid, they mean the air feels A, dry, B, cold, C, moist and warm, or D, windy. What do you think it is? The answer is moist and warm. It's C. So if it's humid, it's moist and warm. Okay, what does mild weather imply? Is it A, extremely hot temperatures, B, cold but not freezing temperatures, C, pleasant, moderate temperatures, or D, stormy weather? Take another second there. And the answer is C, pleasant, moderate temperatures. A blizzard is A, light snowfall, B, heavy snowstorm with strong winds, C, type of rain, D, sunny clear day. What do you think it is? A blizzard is A, B, a heavy snowstorm with strong winds. Okay, next up we have frost occurs when A, it's mildly cold, B, there's heavy rainfall, C, the temperature falls below freezing and ice crystals form, or D, there's a heat wave. All right, what do you think it is? Frost occurs when the temperature falls below freezing and ice crystals form. The answer was C. Okay, good job. Next up, which term is used to describe extremely wet weather? Is it A, arid, B, scorch, C, soaked, or D, downpour? Which one do you think it is? Which term is used to describe extremely wet weather? The answer is C, soaked. And last but certainly not least, we have our last question here. What does chilly mean in terms of weather? Is it A, warm, B, cold but not extremely cold, C, very hot, or D, humid? All right, take a moment for the last question here. And the answer is letter B. So cold but not extremely cold. So chilly is cold but not extremely cold. So just to recap, here are the answers that you should have gotten while going through this quiz. So A. So number one, what does scorching refer to? It's very hot temperatures. If the weather is breezy, what is it like? Lightly windy. There we go. Okay, what does drizzle mean? It's B, light rain. That is B, by the way, not B and C. Downpour is another term for, it was heavy rain. There we go. If someone says it's humid, they mean the air feels moist and warm. And that was the answer there. What does mild weather imply? That was pleasant, moderate temperatures. A blizzard is a heavy snowstorm with strong winds. Frost occurs when the temperature falls below freezing and ice crystals form. Which term is used to describe extremely wet weather? Soaked. What does chilly mean in terms of weather? Chilly is cold but not extremely cold. And there you go. I hope that you enjoyed this quiz, and please let us know how you did down in the comment section below, as we'd be so interested to hear about it. And yeah, just give yourself a pat on the back no matter how you did, because you know what? You tried. And that is something. And you can keep going through this video and keep trying until you get them all right. And that's how you become the best at this, you know? You just keep practicing and keep trying. So be proud of yourself, as I'm proud of you. I've been James, we've been ISpeakSpokeSpoken.com, and joyfully